As many of you know, I am part Egyptian. And as well as that, I am a Liverpool fan. And due to many reasons, I am a fan of Liverpool. But one of the main reasons that I am a fan of Liverpool is due to Mohamed Salah, Mo Salah, whatever you want to call him, the Egyptian king, and all that. I have a very big issue with today's day and age. Very big issue. And the issue is the hatred towards him. Rival fans, look, I give you guys, I wouldn't say the benefit of it. I give you guys more of a little bit of an excuse, but I do think there is a limit to how much you can bash someone. There are players and retired players and former players coming out and saying Salah's the worst, best player in history or some stuff like that. Paul Scholes, please, I want to understand something. You're telling me you didn't have a drop off in your career? You're telling me when you started to grow older, you didn't have a drop off? You're telling me when you started to lose your legs a little bit, you didn't get a little bit sloppy with your passes, with your defending, with your IQ? But I'm not even going to use age as an issue. I'm going to repurpose this. The main reason why Salah's getting so much hate, the main reason is not just because he's good, not because he's Middle Eastern, not because he's a certain religion. No, it's because they don't want him to be that pinnacle. They don't want him to be the best. They don't want someone like Mo Salah in all that he is to be considered one of, if not the best in this position, in this league, in this team. And I'm seeing it so much recently, and it annoys me. Again, not due to the fact that I myself am from the same region and country and religion that he is. No, I could do this to any player. I absolutely despise when people are going at him, especially due to the fact that he's just losing his legs a little bit. And you know what? I'm even going to flip the script here again. Somebody that I wouldn't say disliked. I've never disliked him. But somebody that I always thought was a little bit overrated was Neymar. Not his play style, not him as a footballer. Again, but my issue with him all my life was his availability. He was the most unavailable player in so many seasons and in so many teams. And of recent, especially his stint in Al Hilal and his stint right now in Santos in Brazil, you could see that. But in his PSG days, I felt bad for him because I knew how much of a good footballer he is. But at the same time, I saw certain things that he would be doing outside of football that was affecting him inside of football. For example, the carnival stints, the fake injuries that people have actually seen, the idea of not being available. So I never thought he was a bad player. I always thought he was an amazing, high professional that just didn't reach the heights that he should have due to the fact of his outside life affecting him and these consistent injuries. Now, flipping this and relating this to Salah, notice how people still do respect him a whole lot more. A lot of Brazilians might not like him as much because he didn't bring them a World Cup, nor did he be part of that Copa America team. But they still respect him. Barca fans still respect him. Former players still respect him. Retired players respect him. Salah, on the other hand, the guy is still playing at a top level. He's playing in the Prem. He's playing for Liverpool. He's playing for a top national team in Africa, aka Egypt. And he's still doing things that many people his age wouldn't be doing. If it's the goals, if it's starting, if it's the assists, it's the playmaking, if it's still getting called up for your national team, if it's all of the above. How come we're not keeping the same energy that people are doing towards Neymar to Salah? We're not keeping the same energy. Retired footballers, you guys are legends of the game. You guys are amazing. Why aren't you keeping the same energy? Why is it that Neymar gets an excuse because he had a high ceiling and he was an amazing professional, right? But he was injured a lot and his outside life affected him, but Salah doesn't. So you can praise the guy who's, no offense to anybody who's a Brazilian or a Neymar fan or whatever, who's on a downfall. You can praise him and still praise him. But the guy that's still at the top level, you want to bash the hell out of him. It makes no sense. And people are going to say, oh, it's because you haters, rival fans and stuff. I get that. I do. But that ends when it comes to professional sports interviewers, when it comes to legends of the game going into interviews. That ends when it gets to become more than football. Because there are comments out there that make no sense to me that are not even based on football. You cannot attack the guy like this. There is an amazing content creator that I follow. I'm not going to say his name. He's an absolutely amazing guy. Put out this narrative that everybody now says. He's a good goal scorer, but not a good footballer. That narrative has taken the world by storm. He's a good footballer. He's not a good footballer. He's a good goal scorer. All of the top attackers in the game, for them to get goals, for them to start, for them to be consistently put in lineups, for them to do any of the above, have to be good footballers. Now, you could say he's not pleasing on the eye. I will agree. He's not pleasing in the eye. There are times where I've seen him cook players and honestly, for me, it was pleasing for the eye. But there are a lot of times where he's not, and I understand that. You could say he's not a footballer that pleases you to see and watch. He doesn't do the skills. He doesn't do the fancy stuff. But because he doesn't do the fancy stuff, he's not a good footballer. Does that make any sense? Because somebody doesn't do 800 rainbow flicks, doesn't do a step over every minute, doesn't do that and the other, he's not a good footballer. I'm sorry. Salah's dribbling style is not your average normal dribbling style. There is a lot of players that have come out and said that the way he dribbles against them is tough for them to handle even sometimes. His little body feints, his little quick movements. Not every football. How come not every football in the world does that then? If he's not pleasing to the eye, that's fine. But if he's not a good footballer, how come all the footballers in the world don't do these little body feints all the time that catch players? How come not every player in the world can outpace you in a one-on-one or even go body for body and physically move the defender in front of them? Being a good footballer is more than just the eye test of that everybody wants to talk about. Being a good footballer is not just that. Look at how they do in tough situations. You're going to say big games. I can genuinely name you so many times I've seen Salah perform in big games but not get you a GA. Many times. But no, we don't want to have that conversation, right? We want to only look at the Champions League semifinal last year and the Carabao Cup the same year, and the Community Shield. That's what we want to look at. What about if we move back a little bit and go to that L final against Madrid in 2022 or 2023? I think it was 2022. Why don't we move back then, huh? He didn't get a GA in that game, but by far was the most extreme, he was the most scary attacker in that team in that final. Because he got them off guard so many times. You could say, oh, Mane had that one shot. Where'd he go after? I don't get it. You guys, there needs to be consistency with all the players in the world when you go and actually give them some sort of, I want to say for the people doing this, hate. To the legends of the game. Why are you guys changing up your words too? You guys are changing up your words. Especially Paul Scholes. A year ago, you were praising the guy. A year ago, you were praising the guy. This year, you want to go out and say some BS, bro. Beyond me how these legends think sometimes. And all these people that want to compare Salah with Hazard and stop. Enough is enough. You cannot compare anymore. Salah's proven it multiple times that he's better than Hazard. Even Hazard said he's better than him. Even Hazard came out and said he's better than me. For the people that are throwing, and for the fans of Liverpool and Salah, don't overthrow Salah either. Don't go out there and go compare him to players we shouldn't compare him to. Messi or Ronaldo or even Neymar as a footballer. Even me, myself, as much as I do think Neymar is overrated, I will still say that Neymar as a footballer was better. But I'm not going to go and give you the stupid argument of, oh, in his prime. Oh, this guy in his prime. Are you joking? Is that how we've gotten in football these days? If you can't prove your argument, you want to just spew out everything or anything to try and prove it? If Hazard's prime is better than Salah's prime. Which prime, though? What do you mean, which prime? Which Salah prime? Year. Which part of Salah are you considering a prime? Which part of Hazard are you considering a prime? Oh, the Chelsea, the last season. I can name you 3 or 4 seasons that Salah's been better than Hazard as a prime. What are we doing, guys? What are we doing in football these days? And it irritates me. And the reason why I'm making this whole video is because one of the main things that I always talk about on the channel, on my TikTok and everything, is the fact that we want to spread the truth. We don't want to spread things that are not true, that are false, that are lies. Propaganda. Why y'all doing propaganda, man? Not worth it. So, to the people out there who still disrespect Salah, who still think he's not one of the best, who still think 1, 2, 3, and 4, I want you guys to go look at what he's done in his Liverpool career, in his Roma career, in his Fiorentina career, in his Basel career, even in his Chelsea career. Chelsea was the worst. And go judge him fully as a player in his career. How he grew from being a nobody in Chelsea to growing into Italy, to going to Italy and proving himself on a big stage there, to getting a Roma move, to absolutely dominating in his position for Roma and nearly having Roma win a Serie A title in his last season, to going to Liverpool, to breaking records. And on that point, if you're not a good footballer, you wouldn't be breaking records the way he is. I'm sorry, I didn't see Ronaldo break the records that he has in Premier League. People keep telling me, oh, Ronaldo in the Premier League was better than Salah. Did Ronaldo break any of the, Did Ronaldo break any of the records that Salah has in the Premier League while he was there? And even if he did, Salah broke those records. And nobody, a bad footballer, can't break records out of nothing. Can't. So people just rethink what you're saying. Respect the man. I respect Neymar. As I said, I do think he's overrated, in my opinion, just due to his availability. But as a footballer, I will always and forever respect him for what he's given to the game, what he's given as a player, the fun that I've seen. So many of my friends are big fans of him. I know his overall, his overall impact on world football, Neymar. And I could tell you the same about Salah. Salah's given a lot of people hope. Salah's changed people in his area, bro. When he came, crimes against Muslims went like this in Liverpool, bro. It went down. You know how crazy that is for one player to quite literally put down the amount of racist acts towards Muslims and Arabs in a singular area? Name me a player that's done that, bro. I always look at a player from inside of football and outside of football. Because when you judge a player, you got to judge him as a whole pact. That's how I judged Neymar, and that's how I'm judging Salah. Judge and see. Appreciate you guys for watching the video. There's going to be a lot more videos coming out on the channel these days. Making some ideas. I'm trying to change it up. I'm trying to give you guys a lot more from me. Not just for me. Not just for YouTube purposes, but in general. So write in the comments below what you guys want to see, what you guys are feeling, how you guys want me to go about this channel, and thank you very much.